today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how you can achieve this. Merry Christmas, by the way. Actually, hold up. Alright, now we're in the Christmas spirit. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Christmas. And I actually was gonna make a Christmas themed short film, but things just didn't work out, and like with time, I just couldn't get it done. So I'm giving y'all another tutorial. Ain't that what y'all want anyways? So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So for this example, I'm going to be using clips from a short film that me and my friends made. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description, and also subscribe to the channel. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to right click and then new and then solid and create a black solid. And then we're just going to name this Saber. So to create the actual lightsaber, we're going to be using Video Copilot's Saber plugin. Alright, so boom, now we see a little presetted lightsaber. And then we're going to go over here. If you don't see the blending options, we're going to go to toggle switches and then just switch this to screen. You can either use screen or add, but I think screen looks a little bit better. And then the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to select the effect, and then you're going to see two little points right here. So I'm going to take one of the points, and then I'm going to put it at the end or the start of the lightsaber, and I'm going to take the other point and then put at the end of the lightsaber. You can't really see the tip of the lightsaber, so you kind of just have to guess. Just kind of like put it in the middle right there. And so right now, we're not even going to worry about the look of the lightsaber right now. All we're going to do is track. So to make it a little bit easier, I'm just going to put the quality to like 3rd. And see, to get a really good lightsaber effect, it's kind of time consuming, especially tracking, because you want it to be as accurate as possible. So that's why we're going to get the boring and long part out of the way first. So you want to make sure you're on the first frame, and then we're going to go over here to core start, hit the keyframe, and then core end, and then also hit the keyframe. And then we're going to hit U to open these keyframes. So the way I like to do this, I like to track one point at a time. So we're going to start with the core start, and then just track it all the way through. We're going to go like a few keyframes, and then just keep it like in the middle. It's kind of up to you on how accurate you want the tracking to be. So we're just going to go frame by frame. You can skip a few frames. Alright, so now as you can see, we have the starting point tracked. It's obviously not perfect. Honestly, with steady shots like this, it is a little bit harder to get an accurate track, but it should be good enough to where the viewer doesn't really notice it. So after we have the starting point tracked, next we're going to go to the end track and then do the same exact thing. Alright, now we got our footage tracked, or the lightsaber, or it doesn't matter, okay. So now once everything's tracked, now we got the hard part out of the way. Now we can actually get into the fun part and actually making it look stylistic. So something to keep in mind when you're actually filming, it's really important to have that practical lighting, because that practical lighting will make such a huge difference. That's why, as you can see in the original footage, we had like an actual like light for the lightsaber, and you can see it has like the reflections on the face, and it makes everything just look so much better. And it'll make your job a lot easier. So if you can, I would use practical lighting. Alright, so since our lightsaber in the actual footage is orange, that's what we're gonna do. So as you can see in the Saber plugin, by the way, the Saber plugin is free. So we can go over to the presets, and as you can see, we have a whole bunch of options. There's already a fire one, we could use that. There's firestorm, there's heat. So you could really just go through it and see which one looks best and which one fits your shot the best. So in this case, I find that the Inferno works best for this shot. I'm going to put this back to full resolution so we can actually see what it looks like. So we're pretty much just going to go through the settings and try to make it to our liking. And a quick word from today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by YSB. What is YSB, you may ask? Well, it's actually my clothing brand. And yes, I'm sponsoring myself. Yeah, it's come to that. YSB is a streetwear brand that I'm actually currently wearing, and I'm also wearing in the tutorial. If you go to youngstreetbrats.store, you will see that I have 2 tracksuits available, black and white. And if you want to be part of this community that will be insanely big one day, then you should go follow the Instagram and also check out the website. And I also have some t-shirts coming soon. So let's get back to the video. I'm going to start by decreasing the glow intensity. I'm going to increase the glow spread, increase the glow bias. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a deep glow to this. and then increase the threshold to 100, and then just increase this just so there's more of like a softer glow to it. And then that's pretty much that. And so now this next step is really important. We're gonna go over here, right click, new adjustment layer. And if there was real life, this is a lot of heat right here, so you would see a bunch of heat waves around it. So that's what we're gonna add. All right, so to get that heat wave effect, I'm gonna be using the heat distortion plugin. I'll also leave a link to this in the description below. And then I'm gonna create a mask around the saber. And then I'm gonna increase the feather. And then I'm gonna increase the wind speed to 2.5. I'm gonna decrease the noise scale. And then decrease the distortion amount to like 6. And then as you can see, we kind of have like that distortion around the lightsaber to kind of give that heat look. Yeah. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click M and then select the keyframe for mask path, and then I'm just gonna make it so it follows the lightsaber. The lightsaber doesn't move that much, so it's not gonna make a big difference, but it's a small detail. Alright, so as you can see, this is looking pretty cool, but it could always look better. So we're gonna add some embers to really seal the effect. Alright, so now we got our embers in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and place it to its correct positioning. And I'm also gonna show you guys a cool trick. Alright, so I'm gonna create a null layer. I'm gonna click P to open the position, and then I'm gonna open up the keyframes on the saber. And then I'm gonna select this pick whip right here, hold it, and then drag it to the core start. And so now the null is positioned to the core start, so we don't have to do the tracking again. And then what we can do is just on the embers right here, select the pick whip and then drag this to the null layer. And now the ember layer is gonna track to the null layer, which the null layer is already tracked to the saber layer that so now as you can see, it's tracked on. I'm gonna switch this to screen. See how much of a difference that makes? This is before, after. Whenever you get the chance, always try to use blending modes. Well, actually, never mind, that's not really good advice. I'm gonna decrease the opacity slightly because it's a little bit much. And then last thing I'm gonna add is a steam layer. Since this is a pretty hot lightsaber, so there's gonna be some steam. And then again, we can just parent this to the null layer. And then I'm gonna create a mask around this. And then just feather this. And then I'm gonna turn the opacity down. And so now this is what we have so far. This is looking really cool. You can adjust the settings to your liking. But there is one more thing that I'm gonna add. And I know I said the embers and steam was gonna seal the deal. No, there's one more thing that we have to add. So I'm gonna create another adjustment layer, and I'm gonna use Sapphire's lens flare auto track. And then I'm just gonna select one that matches the shot. Yeah, I'm gonna find one that matches the shot. And I'm just gonna move the hot spot point to where the actual lens flare would be. And then you can just add some like color grade, just make it look fancy. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this effect. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. And next week I got a really special, I guess technically it's a series, but I got some special content coming out soon. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, then I hope you just have a great day. And I'll see you next Monday.